Yeah.
My sunglasses.
I would.
You know, he might run because I don't have a mask on. You know, because I'm actually not ugly or scary looking, so I don't.
No, you're not.
So that's okay. I do live stream real quick, and then I'm just gonna turn my light. Okay. It's dark. It's dark. It's so dark. Look at that. Hey everybody, we are here in Milwaukee. Me and Bob film the police. Only we're not filming the police today. We're doing something else. Well, I gotta turn this right there. It's still dark. Anyway, he's here to videotape and film, and so I don't have to go myself because all losers and you don't want to join me. I'm going to go knock on it. So the deal is with the DA is he's not going to prosecute any charges that the police are putting against the rioters unless they have committed violence, they have destroyed property. And I mean, destroy. You have to define these things. You can't just do it generically. You know, you have to define destroy. Okay, does that mean graffiti? Does that not mean graffiti? So I'm not sure. So I'm going to go knock on his door. But I do know, before I do that, I will say, he's not going to prosecute people that are interfering with the police doing their job. So for instance, if somebody's committing a crime, so say, you know, someone's beating somebody else up, and, you know, the cops are trying to get through the crowd to stop it, or somebody's stabbing somebody, and then the group decides they're going to protect that protester, because as you know, they know what's going on. They always have the inside scoop. And so that person dies because the cops couldn't get to them to rescue, to help them, to render aid and get a hold of that, you know, the guy stabbing and beating him up. And I know you guys think this is a long shot, but it's not, okay? It could be someone like me just standing there videotaping, because I have been confronted many, many times. So if they start beating on me and then they all start, 100, 200 or more, decide to surround me so that the cops couldn't get in there, the cops aren't allowed to, like, pepper spray them, put them in headlocks. They're not allowed to hit them with their batons. They have taken all that power away from them. And so, how am I going to get help? Okay? I'm going to get beat the shit out of. And the cops aren't going to be able to get in there, because even if they do arrest these guys, get them out of the way, you know, and they're standing there, because they're allowed to stand there and get in the cops' way. They can't arrest them because they can't be prosecuted. So that's the issue that I'm having with this, because it's taking less control and causing more chaos. And as you know, this shit goes in my neighborhood all the time. He lives in a pretty quiet, friendly neighborhood. It's amazing. It's a crappy neighborhood, but it's quiet. And you would think if someone makes that much money, they would actually live in a better house. But, you know, he's a socialist, I'm pretty sure. So as you know, socialists, they want everybody to have the same. So I hope you guys can hear me. My daughter keeps calling. So I'm going to show you his neighborhood first. They're all friendly. I mean, they're all, and then no one's, across the street, look, these guys are sitting there having, I don't know, whatever with their neighbors, and no one's wearing masks. That's okay. He's a friend of Kate's. Kate's the one that hired Kate Brown, you know, Trader Class. And anyway, this is his neighborhood. It's really nice. I kind of like it. But, you know, it's got sidewalks, and I hope you guys can see. I hope my video's not freezing up. It's, oh, there's a car. So I'm going to stand around. And this is his house. Look at that. That's his house. Right there. That's his house. So we're going to go knock on the door. I need, this is what I need. I need clarification. Because I need to know what I can ask for help with from the police. What are they allowed prosecute. And am I allowed to make a citizen's arrest? So if I make a citizen's arrest and he's not going to prosecute, what good is that going to do for me to make a citizen's arrest? And I know you guys think it's not a big deal because, oh, the peaceful rioters are not doing anything. But there's no such thing as peaceful rioter. And he specifically said rioters, peaceful protesters. There's no such thing as a peaceful rioter. It's called rioting for a reason. But he's not going to prosecute disorderly conduct. He's not going to prosecute being a nuisance. He's not going to prosecute if they stand in the way of a police officer. So I'm thinking that includes me too, doesn't it? So I'm having a two-person protest right now. So I think I can be as much of a pain in his ass as I want to. And he's not going to prosecute me because he said so. And hey, that's another question. If somebody assumes something against him, can he prosecute that person himself? Or does he have to get someone else? See, I need clarification. So let's go to this one. No. What? Hello? Hi. I was just wondering if you had a minute to come out and talk to us about clarification on your no prosecution rules, your new ones. Well, here's the thing, because they're probably going to come back to my neighborhood tonight because I live 4 blocks from Martin Luther King and Lombard, and they're always rioting and stuff, and so I just want clarification in case I need to make a citizen's arrest, because apparently the cops aren't allowed to arrest certain people, but I need to understand what that means. Like, if you can define peaceful rioters, peaceful protesters versus the not so peaceful, and is graffiti actually destruction? Because I mean, can they arrest someone for graffiti, or do they have to actually break something? Because this is what I'm having in my neighborhood like all the time, like every 3 days they come. So I'm trying to figure out if I need to step in and have, make citizens arrest, if the police aren't going to be able to. But it's not going to do any good if you're not going to prosecute. So being new and all, I understand. But see, I've lived here almost all my life. And so I don't like what's going on in my neighborhood because there's burning. They throw shit in the street. They block the road. I have been harassed. I have been threatened. So, just trying to get through. And they won't let you. And if you come to see what's going on, they get in your face and they threaten you. So I want to know, are you going to prosecute people that threaten me? Or are you just going to say, oh, they just need to be heard? Because I'm protesting right now in front of your house. Just me and Bob, we're having a protest. And so I really want to be heard. Because you said that it's very important for us to be heard. So I really kind of want you to come out and talk to me so I don't have to get loud with my protest. Because I'm sure the neighbors wouldn't like that. But if you could come out and have a nice adult conversation with me, or I could just stand here and get loud because you said I can be a nuisance if I'm protesting. So I'm wondering. Well, see, here's the thing. It's a misdemeanor if you're trespassing as long as you don't break anything. See, I did a lot of studying today after you made that little conference thing yesterday because it really upset me. And I really want to riot, but I want to do it peacefully. And I'm not sure what a peaceful riot is. So I was wondering if you could define that.
He also said he was going to charge the...
And all the police officers are really busy right now. They're all down by the water looking for somebody. There's like 15 of them down there, so I'm pretty sure they're pretty busy. We don't want to bring them over here, so I'm not going to do anything destructive, or the things that you would prosecute for. So I'm just wanting a definition of what a peaceful protest is.
He also said he's not going to prosecute trespass on protest.
Well, he can't because it's a misdemeanor, and he said he wasn't going to prosecute misdemeanors unless if there is damage done and all that. So I'm just wondering. I don't do damage. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not a hypocrite either, and I don't do what those violent protesters do because I don't threaten people. I've been threatened in my own neighborhood, and I have to go down there just to make sure they don't come up my road. I mean, this is a really, really quiet neighborhood, and your neighbors were having, I don't know, coffee or something with another neighbor, no masks. They were all sitting on the porch. There was like 4 or 5 of them. So it must be a really friendly and safe and COVID-free neighborhood. But in my neighborhood, it's not safe right now. I don't feel safe in my neighborhood. And to know you're not going to prosecute somebody if they get in my face and harass me because you said you won't prosecute people that harass or nuisances. So I'm wondering why. Because it's against the law to harass them. So I'm wondering why you won't uphold the law that we have in Oregon. I know you're not from Oregon. That's cool. Maybe from where you are from. You guys don't have, you can pick and choose what laws to follow. But here it's really important for people like me who have a really full-time job and take care of people and have to do this whole COVID thing and work in a hospital and all that stuff to follow the rules. But when I don't feel safe in my own home, I want to know that the law enforcement and the DA is behind me, and I can count on them. Otherwise, I have to take the law into my own hands if they come to me. And if someone's harassing me and the police are not allowed to arrest them when they're harassing, then I'm probably just going to have to throw a punch at them. And then I'll be in trouble for committing an assault. So I want to know, how can I keep that from happening? What are you going to do as the DA for me, a citizen that pays my taxes, that works full time? I just need to know what you're going to do and define this a little bit clearer for me. I don't want to call your office because I want to talk to you because you're the one in that job. You're the one with that responsibility. I need to know how you plan to do this and how you plan to take care of this.
He's no longer on it.
Apparently, I'm going to get off this part, right? Because I don't really believe in trespassing because I wouldn't want someone to trespass. But I do have a fence, so if someone comes in my gate, that would be more than just trespassing. That would be entering. But see, there's no fence, as you can see. No fence. No fence.
No trespass signs
So,
either.
yeah, no, oh yeah, you gotta have a trespass. Hey, you gotta have a trespassing sign. Where's your no trespassing sign? I have 2 of them. I also have locks on my gate because I have to, because there was homeless people in my yard last year. So, I'm just wondering, this is fun. Can I play with the toys? Let me just go get my little one. I want to know what this guy is going to do for me as my DA. Because I would rely on him to prosecute somebody that's in my face harassing me.
Right.
Because I've been harassed many times. So, I'm just saying. Hey, can you guys see and hear and all that? Hi, Dad. Can't really set. Right back. So, like I said, he's not going to prosecute. He said also, so. He said, and the whole statement, you can read it, it's online. He said that he is not going to prosecute for nuisance. He's not going to prosecute for harassment. He did specify whether it meant on the cops or not. But, like I said, if I was sitting there and I needed protection from those little punks, okay, the rioters, because if you're a rioter, you're not peacefully protesting your riot. There's a difference. And like I said, protesting is a lot different.
Yeah,
Done a lot of protests.
He said he's going to prosecute for it.
Yeah, yeah. The I think he said peaceful rioters, but I'm not, there was 3 things he said he would prosecute for. Pretty much, they have to, like, kill you. Okay? They can harass you first. They can't get prosecuted for that. But if they kill you, yeah. And destruction of property. I'm not sure what destruction of property means. Does that mean if you can't fix it or you can't clean it off because if it's graffiti? I'm just wondering. So, but he doesn't want to talk to me. He said, call the office. Well, I have to work tomorrow, so how am I going to do that? So, and you know what? You guys might not agree with me being here, but I really, really want clarification.
I called the office several times and no one answered.
Yeah, because no one's in the office because it's COVID. It's COVID. Don't you know it's everywhere? It's probably in his, look at that, it's probably in his flowers. I better, like, I should sterilize. See, he's got flowers. Oh, they're really crappy yards too. So anyway, I'm going to get on my little blue. I'm on the sidewalk though. He told me to get on the sidewalk. Alright, so I'm going to be mindful. Schmidt. So, Mike Schmidt, I'm sorry you don't want to come out and talk to me. So, I want you to hear me though. Because you weren't really listening because your answers were so generic. So, I want to make sure that you can hear me because, as you said, a rioter has a right, and a protester has a right to be heard. And I'm protesting right now in front of your house, so I really want you to hear me. So the only way I'm going to know that is if your responses are, coincide with my questions and, what I want you to hear. Because I really just want to have a conversation with you so you can clarify what you said on TV and what I read that you said. Because I'm really confused because harassment, as far as I know, is against the law. It's a misdemeanor. I understand. And I understand we're pretty busy and we're, we don't have very many police. But, whose fault that is? That's Kate Brown and Ted Wheeler. So, given that, I think you might want to talk to them and clarify with them why we're having this issue. But I'm telling you, I need you to talk to me, and I don't want to call your office because you're probably not going to your office because of COVID. Okay? I understand that. I am a frontline worker. I have to go to work. But I want to know that my neighborhood's safe because they riot there every 3 days. They light fires. They block the roads. I want to know what I can do about it.
He's the DA that decided that he's not going to prosecute the rioters.
You're the new DA, and I want to know
Yeah.
exactly what you'll prosecute. So does that mean
Yeah.
if they come down my road throwing garbage cans on Lombard or
they got
Martin Luther
too many
King
to handle,
and say I'm
or
going
caseload too
somewhere
heavy?
and they block me?
No.
I mean, what if I gotta go that way?
He said that he's not going to prosecute
they were right
riot,
there,
which is
and
a
they
felony.
harassed me, and they wouldn't let me through. And I was confused because they're not
certain
police. They're not even the road
assault on
police.
police officers where
Is
they
that
use pepper
harassment?
spray
See, I need
or tear
clarification.
gas.
Is that
He's not going to
harassment
prosecute
on me?
those.
Because they threatened me
He says that's
in
all
my
good, huh?
vehicle.
He says that's all
And then when
good.
I got out-
And none of the
Then when I got
misdemeanors
out-
during the protest he's going to prosecute.
Yeah,
Well,
You don't need the loudspeaker. Hear you down the
I'm not going to protest. And he said I can do that. He said I have a right to have a protest.
You're so loud, it's not.
I know, because he's not coming to the door. I have to be loud, because he told me to get
All right.
on the sidewalk. I want to make sure he hears me.
I just want you to know I'm calling the police.
The police are busy right now. They're all over there looking for somebody on the waterfront. And it's his law. He said he's not going to prosecute. I'm having a protest and I have the right to be heard. You can call the police all you want, it won't do you any good. This lady wants to call the police. I know half of them, so it's okay. Yeah. You could, I think you should both call. You should. Because they're really busy and they're not going to like the fact that you're pulling them away from a crime right now, frankly. I'm protesting, and he said he's not going to prosecute if you're protesting. I'm not rioting, though, I promise.
We're peacefully protesting.
I am peacefully protesting. He said I could get loud. In his statement, he said it's okay for them to be loud. So I'm going to be loud because I'm protesting. I may only be 2 people, but I'm still having a protest. It's a small protest. Anyway, as I was saying, Mike, I just really want you to come out and talk to me. Because I can keep this up all night. Because the protesters at my house do. The ones down my street, they keep it up until sometimes 5 o'clock in the morning. And I don't get any sleep. So, I'm wondering how much of a nuisance before you'll prosecute the fact that I'm not getting any sleep, and then I get in my car to go to work, and then I'm falling asleep behind the wheel. So, I really need clarification on harassment, nuisance, and why you are not going to prosecute those people. Nothing? Bobby has nothing to say. This is Bob with Film the Cops 911, so they all know him too. Isn't that amazing? And I used to be married to cops, so half of them know me too. Amazing, huh? And I know my rights as well. So I just want to be heard, Mike, and I don't believe that you're hearing me because you're not responding. And your answers to my questions were not appropriate. Telling me to call the office and stuff. No, I want to talk to you now because I have to work tomorrow. I can't call your office. Even if I did, nobody answers. We've already called. So I really need you to come out and talk to me. You get paid by people like me. You work for people like me. I really need you to talk to me. And you get paid a salary. You don't get paid by the hour. So you're pretty much working 24/7. I know how this works. So I really need you to come out and talk to me, Mike. As the new DA, you just need to come out and talk to me. Because I would hate to think the protesters would come down, or the rioters will come down your street. Seriously. If they knew you were here, they probably would, because they don't like DAs either. Annoying, isn't it? I'm not going to go away, Mike. I'm not going to be rude. I'm not going to call names. I'm not going to insult you like the protesters do near my house. I'm not going to say things against you like they do to the police officers when they're harassing them. So I'm just saying, I just need you to come out and talk to me. Hey, that's nice music. I think they're on a protest next door, too, because we got loud music. I kind of like it. So just so you guys all know, your mayor here, Mike Schmidt, is the new DA. But he's not going to prosecute people that harass. He's not going to prosecute people that are nuisances.
violation of probation for his protests.
My phone just went dead.
What's going on?
I'm having a peaceful protest.
Great.
Yeah.
What are you protesting? Just curious.
I'm protesting the fact that he's not going to prosecute and he's going to release half of the rioters unless they were destructive, unless they, what did they say? Harm, like commit violent acts. But the problem is he's not going to prosecute when the police arrest them for interfering.
DA's statement
say I'm down there
on the
and I'm
media.
According to Microsoft Docs, data analysis expressions.
in my own neighborhood, because they riot every 3 days. in my
DA
own
makes
neighborhood,
speech
4
to
blocks from my
media
house.
about riots.
And I was down there on his videotape. And I got a person in my face harassing me. Now what happens if that person, and they surround me and they decide to start beating on me?
Well, but that's it, right?
But no,
It's
I'm
until
saying
they
it happens,
do-
I've seen it.
Right, I've been down there a lot too.
No, this is my neighborhood. I'm not talking about downtown.
For sure.
So,
I'm gonna move along now.
Okay, you just asked. I was just
Oh
explaining to you.
no, for sure.
He's not going. He says they have a right to be heard. So I'm being heard
Yeah.
because he won't come out and talk to me. So I want to make sure he hears me. So I'm having a little peaceful protest.
DA will not
You can be loud.
prosecute
I guess it's
rioters
peaceful. I didn't
in
know,
Multnomah
but
County.
It's peaceful because he said it was.
All right. Well,
According to KPTV.com, Multnomah County, OR, the Multnomah County District Attorney Mike Schmidt announced that his office will not prosecute certain charges stemming from the ongoing protests in Portland.
But
I'm pulling up what his
oh yeah, I know. Is there a video on there? Because I can play it on here. Or we could just read what it says.
yeah.
Because, like,
Here's what he says he's not going to prosecute.
so the list of things, if I am not mistaken, Mike, since you don't want to come out and talk to me, it says the crimes that you are not going to prosecute for are interfering with a peace officer or parole or probation officer. Second degree disorderly conduct. Not first, but second degree. First and second degree criminal trespass. Wow, so if I trespassed on your property, how could you prosecute me? So you're saying that if one of these come on my property and trespass, you're not going to prosecute. So does that mean I get to shoot them? Then, let's see, on down the list. Third degree escape. Really? Harassment and a riot, unless accompanied by a charge outside of this list. So, I'm really concerned with the second degree disorderly conduct, the harassment, and the trespassing thing. Really? That's what I need you to come out and I need you to clarify for me. Because if they come into my neighborhood tonight, I need to know what I can have the police arrest them for. That's why I need you to talk to me now. I need you to come out and clarify that. And really, a probation officer? Wow. What if he was wanted for murder? And, you know, he did his time and he got out, and then he was at a protest. And he violated that. Or maybe he beat his girlfriend up. Or raped a child. You have one. But yet if he violates that, you're not gonna prosecute? Really? Because that's what it says here, you said. And interfering with a police officer. Really? Apparently you haven't seen them do this. Apparently you haven't been there. I see it all the time. The way they attack the police, the way they knock them over to interfere with them arresting somebody who is being destructive, lighting a fire, throwing stuff at them. I need to know. why you're not going to prosecute these. Because you've just given them a free ticket, Mike. A free ticket to commit crimes. And I am a responsible citizen. I pay taxes. I have a full-time job. I take care of other people. I take care of our veterans. And I can't count on you to protect me. To prosecute those people that want to hurt me. So this is what I need clarification for. Because you have a family. How would you feel?
It is important to me that the voices of the protesters be heard.
Mike Schmidt ran and won on a progressive plan for justice in Multnomah County. Today he announced he won't prosecute most people arrested during the protests unless there is some type of violence or damage.
I want to make it very clear, though. This is not a free pass. While I will do what I can to provide protesters with a forum to make their voices heard, I will not tolerate deliberate acts of violence against police or anyone else.
Crimes that generally won't be prosecuted include interfering with a peace officer, disorderly conduct, criminal trespass, and even riot, unless you're doing damage.
The other side is if you're in that crowd and you are the person throwing and you are the person causing damage, that is the riot charge that will be taken.
The most serious crimes like assault and arson will be prosecuted like before. But of about 550 arrests made so far, the DA's office says about 400 were arrested on the lesser charges he wouldn't be pursuing. Does this give protesters license to push the limits? Some of you think so and don't like it. On KGW's Facebook page, comments on the new prosecution policy are mostly negative. From Robin we got, what about the rights of business owners and families that live in these neighborhoods? You are lost in pandering to these vigilantes who are destroying our city. And Carla said, people who break the law should be prosecuted. But we also heard that's how First Amendment rights are protected. And thank you, DA. From Lewis and Clark law professor Tung Yin, we got the reminder that district attorneys use their discretion all the time.
Prosecutors are already having to decide, okay, I've got these 5 cases, I can only do 2 of them, which 2 am I going to do? Much better in some sense to lay out the criteria for the discretion to say that, look, these are the kinds of cases that we think are really important.
Schmidt did say today,
When police officers, they are in a tough situation on these nightly protests.
and added, officers can still make arrests. Portland Police Chief Chuck Lavelle reacted, saying in part, the Portland Police Bureau remains committed to public safety. We have said repeatedly throughout these long months that we would prefer not to make arrests at all. When police make arrests, they are based on probable cause that a crime has been committed. Now police and the new top prosecutor will have to work together, even if they are working from different playbooks.
But it is my hope that when they are looking at referring cases for prosecution, that they are targeting and building cases on people who are actively destroying property, lighting things on fire, hurting people. That's where we want them to focus their time and attention, and we will prosecute those cases.
And yes, this new policy is retroactive to the hundreds of arrests made in the past few months of protests. So if you were arrested on one of those lesser charges, you should expect to see it go away. Tim Gordon, KGW News.
So does that include blocking the road with fence? Because they put a fence. They tore down a fence at Rite Aid that's closed, a business that can't open right now. And then they disassembled it and put it across the road. It's not a violent act, but yet you can't go down Lombard when they do that. And they've done that at least 3 nights. One of which I needed to get through. And I got harassed for it. Because they don't have the right to block the road. So I want to know why that's not included. It is criminal to block the road. That is not your First Amendment right to impede on people's right of passage or right of way. And they continue to do it every night. Why are you not prosecuting those? It's more than an inconvenience. Because when they do that, one, that's not their fence. They disassembled it and then reassembled it. They were not arrested for that.
Hi, my name's
They don't get prosecuted for that.
Matthew,
So they can just
and I'm
do
a
that,
social
I
media
guess.
coordinator.
It would be like if somebody came in front of your house and put a
For a
fence
professional
on your roof and didn't let you buy. What would you do?
Multnomah County DA does press briefing.
Because that's what I deal with in my neighborhood, Mike, and I need to know that you have our back. That they can't do this. That's not peacefully protesting when you are putting a fence across the road. But yet, those that did it may not be lighting a fire.
Policy that the Multnomah County District Attorney's Office will
They may not be destroying anything. However, they did go on property and take the fence and reassemble it across the road. And then harass people they tried to get through.
questionings. We will start with individuals.
Because what's going to happen is someone's going to get killed because somebody drove through them and almost killed someone.
Phone conference.
Drove through the protesters.
Conference call.
A truck.
Hear us?
I got it on video if you want to see it
Please
because I was
keep your
there.
phone on mute until you are called. And then we have 2 questions that have been emailed from local media,
No?
and we will.
sorry.
I will read those off.
You know
so without
Margo?
further ado,
Oh yeah, no, I'm Lou.
Lou, that was it, Lou.
Hi. So is she? I think she's at work.
No, I know. Lou's not,
And
Margo's not coming.
And what's your name?
Leo.
Thank you
Leo.
everyone for being here this
Hi.
morning.
Been working with Margo the last 3 weeks to help her get elected.
As Multnomah County's
Yeah.
district attorney,
Yeah,
I
he wouldn't not
acknowledge
talk
the
to me. His
deeply
answers
rooted
were very
emotions
generic, and I just
involved
wanted
in
him to come
nightly
out and explain to me. I
have
wanted
unfolded in our
clarification,
community.
and I even
in
played
response
the
to the
video
murder of
where
George
he
Floyd.
was saying what he would prosecute and not.
These demonstrations
And the problem
are
is,
being
it's like-
used to righteously express grief
Oh yeah. Let's
Anger,
wait. Start that over.
over that senseless act of
Well, you've heard a story with the neighbors. Do they know who they
County
are?
District Attorney's Office. Shortly, District Attorney Mike Schmidt will be announcing a policy that the Multnomah County District Attorney's Office will implement effective today. After his brief remarks, we
The
will
neighbors
have
are playing music loud. They go, "We're gonna call the police." I go, "Please do."
After that, we will then open it up.
They're all
for
down there.
questions. We will
They're
start
doing
with
something.
Individuals who are
A
here
crime or something.
in
It's
the
like
courthouse with us today.
12.
And then we will move to the phone conference. So if you are on the conference call, hopefully you can hear us. And also, please keep
talking
your
about
phone on mute until you are
the
called.
rioters
And then we
downtown?
have 2
Yeah, rioters downtown, northeast and southeast Portland.
I will read those off.
All of them.
So without further ado,
I don't know if that's what they were doing though, but I don't know what they were doing on my way here.
Well, I agree with what you guys are doing. I don't want to help if I can, but
thank you everyone for being here this morning.
Oh, just being here helps, you know.
Yeah.
But
Like
the
if I'm just
key
by
word is-
myself, they don't take me
As
seriously.
Multnomah County's District Attorney, I acknowledge the deeply rooted emotions
Battery's
in
supposed
the
to be
nightly
going
demonstrations
or be low.
that have unfolded in our community in response to the murder of George Floyd.
Bullshit.
These demonstrations are being used to righteously express grief,
not really.
anger, and frustration over that
I'm pretty frustrated myself, so that's why I'm here.
countless other abuses people of color have endured throughout history at the hands of the criminal legal system. It is important to me that the voices of the protesters be heard.
And I'm protesting, so my voice needs to be heard.
Not enough. If we're going to be responsive to this
agree.
current moment, and the demands from the community who are calling for criminal justice reform, we must implement far more robust changes to this system. This policy on how my office will handle protest-related
Well,
cases
you guys are more than welcome to come to my neighborhood and endure the rioting. I mean, you're more than welcome. We hear them every 3 nights. Every 3 nights.
the protesters
I'm going to make sure that they know his address
deeply
and say, hey, go visit him. Then you guys can have him. I don't want them on my street anymore. We hear them. We know what they want. They said they're not going to stop till they get rid of the police. Do you know what that's going to
Lou.
do to you?
Lou,
Lou,
What?
can't argue.
worse. Others represent
Yeah,
instinctive
guys,
reaction.
my opinion is that arguing with anybody is not going to get anything
Yeah.
done.
After his
What?
brief remarks,
Arguing with anybody doesn't get anything done.
yeah, they're Black Lives Matter, so it's,
They're too much entrenched in the belief of citizens.
Well, they live in this little neighborhood here. I don't. I live in northeast
Yeah.
Portland. I live in a salt and pepper neighborhood. Okay?
Right.
I love my neighbors.
Lou, my battery's gonna die on my phone, then you won't
here.
have anything. No, I want you to hear that.
No, because they're not going
questions
to
that have
care.
been
They
emailed
don't care.
from local
They don't
media,
care.
and we will
Listen, Lou,
I will read those up. So without further ado, District
I think
Attorney
you
Mike
have
Schmidt.
made your point, though, and I'm not trying to stop you in anything, but I think that it's got to be a better approach, more direct, and more successful.
Thank you, everyone,
and
for
I don't know
being
what that
here
would
this
be.
morning.
Well, the reason I decided to do this is to just give him a little taste of
As
what
Multnomah
he's saying
County's
he's
district
not
attorney,
going to help people with.
I
So,
acknowledge the
like,
deeply
I went to his door. He said, I would like you to get on the sidewalk. I go, so you're telling me you don't want me to trespass?
unfolded in our
But you said you won't prosecute
response to
trespassers
the murder of
unless
George Floyd.
they're being destructive. That's what he
These
said.
demonstrations
So I want him
are
to
being
know
used to
that this is stuff we're
express
enduring.
grief,
this is stuff that we're
anger,
having happen. And
frustration
if he's not going to prosecute
over
it,
that senseless
what
act
am I
of
supposed to
violence.
do?
Well, no, I agree with you, and I
And
wish I could
countless
figure
other
an answer for you
abuses
because
people of color
we've
have
got
endured
a dozen
throughout
cities or
history,
more,
at
let's
the
just say
hands
more,
of the
but they're not
criminal legal
prosecuting.
system.
Chicago,
It's important to me that the
where this
voices
whole thing started,
of the protesters be heard.
Minneapolis, and so on and so forth.
And frankly,
A
hearing
whole
alone
bunch
Yeah, but here's
is
the
not
thing.
enough.
It's like,
And we just got
there's
We're
so
gonna
many
be
things that we don't
responsive to
hear
this
about.
current moment.
Like, I have to
right.
see on the internet a 6-year-old boy
demands
that
from
gets
the
shot by
community
a
who are
black
calling
man,
for criminal
goes
justice
up and
reform.
point blank shoots that boy
We
in the
must
head.
implement
A 6-year-old dude's on his
far
little
more robust
bicycle
changes to
doing
the
nothing.
This
You don't hear
policy
about
on how
that.
my office will handle
There's
protest-related
plenty
cases
of crime
in
out
the
there.
current context.
It's not. It
is
shouldn't
just
even be
the
about
start.
black and white. That's the problem.
This
Well, it should
policy
be about
acknowledges
America.
that the factors
We
that
are
lead to the
America.
commission of
We should
criminal
all
That's a
have-
heinous
during a
we should
protest are
live by the
incredibly
rule of
complex.
law.
Yeah.
And
The protesters are angry.
we were out there with the
Yes.
flags, and I think we had a little bit
Deeply
better
frustrated
responses
with what they
people were agreeing
perceive
with.
to be structural
Aggression.
inequities
And
in our
I did
basic
Sandy
social
as well Monday
fabrics.
night.
And this frustration can escalate to levels that violate the law.
Well,
Okay.
Some of those violations
my
are
point is,
impermissible by any standard.
I don't know if you've
resulting in
like
physical
been there
violence,
and like
injury,
watched
worse.
like in person. I have.
Others
and what happens is
represent
okay.
the
So here's the
instinctive
front
reactions
line,
of people
and they're the ones
who have
doing
been gassed
graffiti.
repeatedly,
They're lighting the fires.
who have
Then
been
you got
struck
all
with
these people
kinetic
here.
projectile weapons,
If
and who have
they
seen
are
other
allowed, if the
protesters
police are going,
arrested
okay, we
in
need to
ways
stop
that they
them.
deeply
Well, this-
disagree.
How are
the
they going to
lines-
get through that
Well,
crowd?
they
This
deliberately set
policy
those people there to
acknowledges
stop them,
that
to allow
centuries
them
of
to do that.
disparate
I know.
treatment
I
from
know.
But
black and
but
brown communities
he
have left deep
says
wounds,
that
and that
they
the healing
can't arrest
process will
people.
not be easy
He
or
will not
quick.
prosecute people that are
This policy
interfering
acknowledges that our county dollars
with those
are
police
extremely
officers
limited, and that
trying to get to those
prosecutions should be
people.
guided
Because that's
by
what
they
he's
think
doing.
Look, he's going on to the
how to
prosecution.
invest
These are what he's not going to prosecute for.
And that many people who have been arrested during these protests for low-level offenses come to us with little to no prior criminal history, and we have little to no reason to believe that they will reoffend. This policy acknowledges that interactions with criminal justice system can leave lasting consequences in foregone educational, housing, and economic opportunities, and the tools of the system must therefore be destroyed.
Don't.
impressed?
Don't.
The district attorney's office will presumptively decline to issue criminal charges, which result solely from the participation in a protest or mass demonstration, when the most serious offense is either a city ordinance violation, such as a curfew violation, or when the crime does not involve deliberate property damage, theft, or the use or threatened use of force
Deliberate.
against another
You have to
person.
define that.
Yeah.
Crimes that
Oh, you got caught in
presumptively
the
fall
moment.
under this category include interfering
guys
with a police
don't-
officer,
They're not here.
disorderly conduct, criminal trespass, escape in the third degree, harassment, and sometimes, in some circumstances, riot.
But he also said
I will
parole
also be
officers.
directing my deputies to take a particularly hard look at cases involving resisting arrest and assault of a public safety officer, if those cases occurred while an individual was being tear gassed or otherwise exposed to a use of force at the time of the resistance.
Resisting arrest and assault on a police officer. They're not going to prosecute it if it's been tear
I want to make
gassed.
it very clear, though.
Yeah.
This is not a free pass.
It is a free
Well, I
pass.
will do
You
what
just
I
stated it.
can to
It is a free pass if he's not going to prosecute.
Yeah.
I will not tolerate deliberate acts of violence against police or anyone else.
You just said you would.
In that type of conduct.
That's funny. That was a contradiction. If you just said you would.
No, it's not.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Here, I can't listen anymore. It's amazing.
Listen, guys, I do support what you're doing. I wish I could do something to help, and I think you've got the point across now. I don't think you're gonna get
Right now, I'm just
further.
being a nuisance because he said I can do that. He said it's okay. He's not going to prosecute nuisances.
Well, it's
And they
true.
were like, well, I should call the police. What am I doing? Is he going to prosecute? He's the DA. That would be his job. But is he allowed to prosecute if it's against him?
No.
Wouldn't that be, what do they call that?
It's a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
He'd have to get a DA from another county to prosecute the case.
But wouldn't they have to be licensed in this county?
No. All they got to do is pass the state bar.
Yeah.
Remember when Chris was charged with trespass on that DA's property? They brought in a DA from Washington County to prosecute that case.
But he said they're not going to prosecute trespassing unless it's trespassing with damage. Because also if it's a misdemeanor, he doesn't want to prosecute misdemeanors.
I tell you guys, I think that sometimes being vocal like you're doing is one form, but there's another form, which is the spoken unwritten word. The mighty sword is fine, but the pen is mightier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? When you have a whole corrupt state,
the problem is
a whole corrupt, your pen doesn't do any good.
Yeah, the problem
is, he says call the office. I've already tried calling. I tried calling yesterday and today. He tried calling. No one's answering. How am I supposed to get these questions answered if no one is answering?
Because they're shut down, for one.
Yeah.
Exactly. Does he even go in there?
No.
I don't think so because of COVID.
They closed all the city offices. I mean, I'm trying to get a firearm. Can't get anybody on the phone.
Yeah.
Why? They haven't passed my background check.
So in the meantime, the neighborhoods are supposed to allow the protesters to go through, burn things,
So blocking
assault
the road
people,
is not
blocking roads.
literally considered. It's harassment. Blocking a road. It's not considered a violent act, nor is it considered.
It's actually public safety. It's a hazard
But
to
it's-
public safety. But they're letting them do it.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a bridge in D.C. 2 or 3 nights ago. Like 300 people there blocked that bridge, and then people couldn't get to an island area. I forget how it's set up. I've never been there.
Yeah.
But it was on the news. But I'm going, damn, that's a violation. They said it's a violation, but it's okay.
And technically, when they let those protesters block I-5, that's illegal because that's a federal road.
Right.
That was totally illegal.
But I think it's a better choice here
Suitor.
to try to get a group of people together.
I've been trying.
No.
Do you know?
Listen, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It just.
I'm an anarchist and I want to help and I want to get something done, but I want to do it in a way that we have a plan and we're working together.
Well, that's why I'm trying to get people, but you know what I'm being told by my patriot friends? Oh, Portland's a lost cause. I live here.
No. Listen. Right now I'm working on writing a letter to the whole city of Portland. It's probably useless.
Oh, you are?
No, listen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Listen. But it's not this kind of letter where it's going to criticize anybody or say anything. Let me explain by an example.
Okay.
There's a guy named Thomas Paine in 1776,
Oh, sorry.
please, who wrote a thing called Common Sense. What happened when he wrote that? During the Revolutionary War. And I'm teasing with you guys a little bit. Let me tell you
Well,
what
they'd have to actually read it.
No. He wrote that in 1776. Washington's having trouble getting an army together. When he wrote that pamphlet, he wrote down his grievances of the city, of the state, of the government, of the king. And people read it and agreed with him. At that time, in 1776, 120,000 copies of that in 2 weeks sold.
Wow.
What does that tell you?
Well, people wanted to.
People
Right,
were irritated. I'm thinking about doing something like that, writing a pamphlet on our grievances. If we can get 120,000 people to agree with us, we could work together. We could do something.
Well, see, the thing is that
You've got neighbors. I mean, you got people like this.
Yeah,
they
but-
just don't get it. They don't
no,
get it.
that's why I say
they
do
jump
the-
on the bandwagon of media.
Skip
and
those
all that.
people. Skip them.
Well, that's what I mean. They came out.
Well, they don't.
They were like all in until I was like
They-
right
they-
here.
no,
So
they don't know
I
what's
wasn't even
going
talking
on.
to them.
They don't care.
I know they don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't. They watch TV 6 or 12, and it tells them everything's fine,
I know.
and that's what they're going to listen to.
Yeah.
But I think the pen is mightier than the sword. And I'm not talking about a letter to Katie. I'm talking about a pamphlet like Thomas Paine did.
Yeah.
I'm
The
serious.
problem is like getting it out there, and it costs so
Yeah.
much. It costs a lot.
We got
How you
people
do it?
coming up behind
to
us.
do, so.
Depends on how you do it.
They can come up behind me. So I mean, it costs. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of the problem. But
No. That's a detail. If we had something together that was forceful, understandable, and in consistency with everything around,
right.
it could be very powerful.
Well, okay. But it's like, when he said he's not going to prosecute unless they're
You got to have some
being
kind of
destructive
force
and
to
stuff.
get him to do his job.
Right, and that's
And the only thing that worked,
yeah, but you'd have to go, above Kate Brown. You'd have to go above that, and that's part of the problem.
you
Right.
don't need you're not going to get help from the Republicans or the Democrats. No.
Oh no.
So that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm suggesting. So I'm working on that very idea, and I don't think it's a bad one. I think the only one. And
Well, you can. I know I'm on Margot's face page.
yeah, but I don't do computer stuff.
You gotta get in the 21st century here,
No,
man.
I'm an idiot. So let's not worry about that.
Gotta get in.
No, when I do computer
Nice.
stuff, I go to the bank or whoever, and they do all my
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
I don't do any.
I hate doing like paying bills online. And
I
stuff.
don't do any of that.
Sucks.
I don't do any.
But it's like
But key word is, I think if we can get together. That's a bigger, more powerful way of getting a large group of people together and having a plan after get all the people who agree with the ideas that we have.
Don't worry, we're not BLM, we're not Antifa. We don't attack people we protest against.
yeah. And you're more than welcome to have a conversation with me.
Yeah.
No.
I do have a conversation. Huh?
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. Well.
I'm not a threat.
We're not a threat.
That noise you just did was extremely offensive, and I'm over 1 year old. This is someone's house. It's not like it's at
I know. And
Man, I need to bring my bullhorn.
I have a house too.
I know
It's
you're
a man's
threatening to
home.
spread the word of his address and send your friends here to
No,
practice.
I said
Hey,
Censor is a symbol.
it's
That's-
out there in public. It's a public thing.
that's absolutely amazing because last week I had 10 people that were Antifa and BLM standing in front of my house.
Oh, they're fascist. No, he lives right by North Precinct.
Yeah, they were standing right in front of my house.
Association.
Right? And it wasn't until my brother came out with a gun that they actually left.
I'm just saying, we're the peaceful ones. Okay, what I have to deal with is not. You know what I did this morning? I spent a lot of time in front of East Precinct organizing getting the rock with a plaque that honors a very honorable man that died in 1997, a police officer that died. He got ambushed by an illegal immigrant. I had to arrange to have that rock moved with his mom standing right there. Okay, I'm having it. I had to go get a guy that could refurbish it and everything. So.
But like I said,
I do
consider
all
my
this
thought of it.
stuff
Let's get together
because
and
we have
write
to keep that
pamphlet
safe.
that would
Okay,
explain her
because
points,
they
and
are
you have people
doing
together with us,
destruction
okay?
over there, and they are ruining that plaque.
Because we're not getting anywhere with
That
telling
plaque is not
people.
the home of a 1-year-old newborn. Okay?
1-year-old is not a newborn.
A 1-year-old child. Call it what you will.
I have a neighbor that has a young baby, and they're constantly in there, and they're constantly being loud. No.
No, we're not.
I'm a patriot.
Noise at someone's house is the wrong side.
I gave him my phone.
Well, that's funny because they went over to some old lady's trailer. BLM went over to some lady's trailer in northeast Portland and attacked her.
But
Well, we didn't physically attack her. We didn't physically attack the DA.
Not real good at
See, we don't believe in that
putting
stuff.
stuff on paper.
You're doing it.
Huh?
Feedback noise.
This is called protesting.
together.
You're against
Okay?
Someone's house.
No, we're for protesting.
I thought you were against
No, we're for protesting. We're against violent protesting. That means we're against Antifa and BLM.
BLM are not violent.
Oh, sure they are.
In the wrong news.
Have you went downtown? Have you went through northeast Portland yet?
These peacefully with others.
2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Very, very many. Have you?
People agree with it.
well, I've seen them several times.
You've seen
They also,
Yeah.
yeah, you haven't seen the whole broader movement. You're very laser focused in your interest.
see, arguing with this guy,
I have.
What's going on?
age, not age,
Yeah, 'cause there's a 1-year-old. Well,
it's not gonna get anywhere.
Just because you disagree doesn't mean you hate.
You gotta join together. And that, there's 200 people here right now. Should be, whatever.
oh, so his wife, bye.
Yeah, she's,
Come back later.
but if we, if 200
I'll
people
be here again later.
that agreed with us, it would be a more effective group of people.
Right.
And protesting someone's house is fine, but that's not the successful way of doing it. Like I said, writing is much more effective.
Right.
Yeah.
It is. I was-
Here's my thing. I know this isn't going to get anywhere, but I want to give him a little taste of what I'm enjoying, of what's going on in my neighborhood, because he lives in this very safe, this little nook.
Go to the next step. I gave him my phone number. Get back with me or call me weekend. And like I'm working on this paper right now. I haven't got very far in it, but I've got an idea started on it.
Yeah.
And I'm using the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. Those are really critical for us to explain our point.
Yeah.
And people who agree with righteous understandings, we argue with them about 1-year-old babies or 2-year-old babies. You're gonna get
So a 1-year-old newborn.
what doesn't really matter. I'm trying to get a point.
Apparently they don't know what the word newborn means.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right now, no one knows what words mean. They are too ignorant. They don't know. They don't know hardly anything. But if you talk
But
about
it irks me because these people are allowed to harass people. I have been harassed many times. I have stood there. And the thing is, it's like, he just comes in. Kate Brown puts him right in. He's not even supposed to be on the job until the first of the year. She puts him right in so that he can start working this summer and get stuff done because it's going to be before November. Okay?
November 3rd is what they want to do. They're doing this to embarrass
Right.
Trump. We know that. But think about what I'm saying. You want to be successful, and you want to get a team of people together. Get like-minded people together. If someone doesn't agree
Hard
with you,
here.
no, there is people here.
I know, but they won't come out.
You find someone that doesn't agree with you, you walk by.
Yeah.
You know, when Christ died, how many followers did he have?
Because it wasn't like we were saying
a lot.
only Black
300.
Lives Matter.
Well, I mean, they follow him, and
300 people.
they kind of
What
ditched him.
was that Christ did? He laid in the foundation of
Right.
ideas.
I had a great conversation with one of my
They
close
took hold.
friends, Howard Stern. He got it. He
I
got
mean, why did
everybody
we
else
win the
to get it, but
Revolutionary
Howard
War?
didn't get it. And I think
Because
after our
of principles and
conversation,
ideas.
I explained
Not
it.
because
I had to put it in
Washington
context.
won every battle. He did.
I did,
He
but
lost
it was
almost everyone he
it's
fought.
like,
Yeah.
when y'all say
He did win about
save the
8 battles,
whales,
which were all he needed to
I don't
do.
mean
But
fuck
the
all
British could not
fish in the ocean.
overcome the concepts of people, the ideas people had. There's a lot of people that believe in America and the righteousness of America and the laws we live under.
they are in danger.
You've got to train these people a
Just
little
like
bit
they
about
is.
what it means to be an American.
So there y'all go, y'all. There it is.
Well, they
You
just-
can take some
my
home with
experience
you.
is
You'll learn
half time they
something
won't
like
listen.
Nick Cannon show.
You don't, you're arguing.
Whales are the
You
niggas
don't
of the
argue.
ocean.
You put out an idea. Let me
That's why they
explain.
call them
These three security guys, guys at the train station, these homeless guys that come and dig through the trash. I couldn't stand that. So one guy's digging through the trash, and I say to the guy, "Hey, what are you looking for?" "Oh, I'm looking for a cigarette butt." And I says, "Have you ever thought about that cigarette butt having any disease on it, maybe?" Or
No, they don't.
no. I said that to him, and he stopped for a minute.
But it seemed my own kind do the most.
He thought about it. Now, I don't know if he got the cigarette butt, he smoked it. Well, I don't know what. But the point is, he left. See what I did?
Yeah.
I didn't say anything about what he's doing. I just said, "You know that cigarette could have germs on it."
Right. I did that actually with, we got people come and go through our garbage cans, and I go, you know I threw that stuff away for a reason.
Yeah, but the point is, that can be done with the same principle idea. What are your rights? Don't you have this right, this right? Don't we all have this right?
I know.
And that's an argument that...
But the other thing too, the other aspect is if you are openly allowing, and then and then I get hurt, or I get
Yeah, but you're trying to
it's not
fight,
going to do.
you're trying to fight these people. And you can't. You can't. Christ didn't fight anybody. He just said, this is the statement. This is it. Christ says in the scriptures, if you fight somebody and they don't accept what you believe, walk on.
The thing is writing works on a lot of stuff. You know, the pen is mightier than the sword. But under these circumstances, under this governor and stuff like that, it doesn't work.
No, you're suggesting I'm going to try to get. I'm not working on that. I'm working on the idea that we, like-minded people, get together and we stay as a force, as a group. Separately, we're worthless. Yeah. I'm individually worthless.
Right.
And I'm not even going to say I'm better than that. I'm not. I'm just one person. But if there are 300, 400 others that believe the same way,
yeah,
that would mean something. It would make a significant difference, more than you would believe. It would make an effect anyway.
Yeah.
But that's all I'm saying. Take my phone number.
I got it.
And get back to me.
Okay.
And get some ideas. But I'm also going to be working on this paper that I want to get out here pretty soon.
I found these results.
But anyway, you guys have a good night.
Thank you. I found these results. Bye, thanks.
My phone loves talking to me.
I guess so. That's funny. Oh. Yeah, I assaulted him with this noise.
Sometimes
the
people
noise.
like, why are you like
no,
that?
I
Just
understand what
say the
he's
things that
saying,
make
and
people
he's
happy.
not.
I'm like,
Yeah.
They don't understand why I'm doing this. And I'm doing this to show him.
So I wanted to be into Black
I'm doing this to show him what it's like to have somebody, and we're not even being that bad.
No.
To have someone being annoying. I'm not even harassing him, just being annoying.
Right.
You know, you'd have to define. And if he doesn't want to come out and talk to me, what choice do I have? Because he's saying that the rioters and those peaceful protesters have a right to be heard. They have a right to be loud because they just want to be heard. They have a right to be heard. Well, if they are sitting there and they said their piece,
yeah,
and then the police hear them, and they don't leave. They still, because they want a reaction. That's not being heard.
Yeah.
That is, they want what they want. They want to get rid of the police. I see signs that say, you know, kill the police, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, how is that okay? That's not only harassment, that's threatening somebody. That's saying you wish these people dead.
Right.
That is not okay. And did I say anything? Did I threaten? No, I'm not threatening. I'm just here to make a statement. I'm here to have a little protest, which I guess is my right.
Yep.
But he doesn't want to come out and talk, and the neighbors are like, you're being threatening with this noise. Well, I wanted to be annoying.
Yeah.
That's not threatening, that's annoying.
Yeah. I bet you if you threw one of those mortars out there like what the protesters do, I'm sure they would say that was a violent act. But the protesters do it in our neighborhood. Oh, hey, they got that right. It's peaceful protest.
If he thinks he can make me feel guilty for doing this, I think it's a funny noise.
Yeah.
Did they just play with the baby?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Mike's still in there, right?
Huh?
Mike's still in there, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, this is the kind of noises that I hear, and the flashes and stuff. And, you know, my neighbors have a baby that's not even a year old yet.
Right.
You know, has a baby.
Yeah.
And all this stuff that's happening in my neighborhood. It's a little frightening. But, you know, a year old is not a newborn.
No.
My neighbor's baby is less than a year.
Yeah.
She's not even she just started walking. She's about 10 months old, 11 months old. You know.
Right.
But I can do this. It's called protesting. I just want to be heard. They don't like that. It's sick.
Debate the verdict seat. Injustice today, and they
Just want to be heard. I don't have to talk to be heard, though.
No.
Hey. Oh, the lights are off. Did he leave too?
No. Just his wife. His wife and their baby.
Oh, that's too bad. What are they gonna do? Each time we come here? Well, that would be annoying, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I noticed she brought her little bags out, brought something else out and left.
Did she have a mask on?
No.
Oh, sad. I don't even want to make a point anymore. I just want to be obnoxious. Gotta get it just right. So I know they don't agree with me. I don't care. I think I'm done. I gotta go to work tomorrow.
All right.